Hey everyone, it's Mr. Hollywood, and today I will be doing my top 5 favorite movies of the 1980s. Now before I give you my pick, feel free to share your favorite movies of the 1980s down below in the comments. And I cannot wait to do the top 5 of the 90s tomorrow. Now anyways, coming in at number 5 is going to be Blade Runner. A great sci-fi movie, and very high concept sci-fi, and yeah, Blade Runner is such a beautiful movie visually, and it has a great story, and Roy Batty has a very beautiful character arc as someone who is like on a 4-year ticking clock to try to kill Rick Deckard, and by the end he decides to save him because his time living is up. And of course I love Harrison Ford in this. It has some great characters and great action. And yeah, Blade Runner is overall just a great movie, and is my number 5 of the 80s. Now coming in at number 4 is Raging Bull. One of the saddest movies I've ever seen, but a really awesome movie that shows the downfall of Jake LaMotta, a real-life boxer, and the dynamic between him and Joe Pesci is great. However, very sad to see like how far downhill his career went and how he turned out to be as a person. However, at the same time, you feel for him, even though he's doing all these horrific things. But yeah, anyways, Raging Bull, great movie, and is my number 4 of the 80s. Now coming in at number 3, and I kind of cheated a bit on this one. It is the first and third Indiana Jones. So, Raiders of the Lost Ark and Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. I mean, I do like Last Crusade slightly more. However, I feel like I cannot just leave Raiders of the Lost Ark off the list. So they are sharing this spot. But if I had to choose, Last Crusade's better. But I also don't want this ranking to be having 2 movies of the same franchise. But yeah, anyways, Raiders of the Lost Ark, just a great adventure. Last Crusade probably should have been the end of the Indiana Jones franchise. I mean, great end to the trilogy, and the Sean Connery dynamic in Last Crusade is the reason why I like it slightly more than Raiders, and it's the reason why that movie is so great. It definitely elevates it. But then Raiders has probably the best opening scene of all time with the boulder, and John Williams' score in both is great. And of course, Indiana Jones is just one of the all-time great characters. I mean, yeah, of course, Indiana Jones has to be in the list, the first and third. Now coming in at number 2 is the first 2 Back to the Futures. And I actually like Back to the Future 2 a little bit more, but I cannot just leave Back to the Future off. But yeah, Back to the Future, just a great time travel story about someone who's going back to 50s, so going back 30 years when their parents were in high school. And then Back to the Future 2 is the great penultimate point of the trilogy, where he goes forward in times, and then Biff screws it up, and then they have to go back. But yeah, the whole Back to the Future trilogy is great. However, the third one did come out in the 90s, and it also is slightly weaker than the first 2, but yeah. The first 2 Back to the Future movies, just pure cinema. They are my number 2 of the 80s. And coming in number 1 is, do you guys have to guess? We're literally wearing the shirt. Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Of course, this was going to be number 1. And I will give a shout out to Return of the Jedi, even though I clearly like Empire Strikes Back more. But it is actually closer than you guys might think. However, Empire Strikes Back, just a perfect sequel, takes everything great about New Hope and just elevates the whole franchise into original trilogy. And then Return of the Jedi is a great finale to the trilogy, and it does a great job of progressing Luke's story and Darth Vader's story, and John Williams' score is great, and just the emotion throughout the whole trilogy is just awesome, and it is definitely in full front in these 2. However, the reason I like Empire Strikes Back more, and I kind of like this in movies, is Empire Strikes Back is one of the first sequels ever where the villain actually won. It was not a happy ending. It had a dark ending, and it still somehow showed that there's still hope in the galaxy. And then another reason is just, the iconic twist of Vader being Luke's father, which of course I probably knew it, but it is just still a very emotional scene. And do I really actually have to go into plot details of why Empire Strikes Back is great? However, I would never dismiss Return of the Jedi either. They're both awesome movies. But yeah, Empire Strikes Back is my favorite movie of the 1980s. And I'm very excited to see both of these two back to back. Because on May 4th, I'm seeing all 9 Skywalker Saga movies. So I'm going to see these two back to back. So that's really nice. But yeah, anyways, Empire Strikes Back is my favorite movie of the 1980s. Now, thanks for watching. Feel free to share your favorite movies of the 1980s down below in the comments. And I cannot wait to do top 5 in the 90s. Thanks for watching, and peace out.